Get Out came out in 2017, people just wouldn't shut up about it. It was one of those movies that was talked about ad nauseum, made lots of money, and put Jordan Peele on the map as a director. He had been known more for his comedy prior to that with Key and Peele, and then became a serious director overnight with a smashing success. And people just love that movie. They adore it. It's a really good movie. The only thing that the issue I had with it is that I saw it way too late. I saw it well after it had left theaters. I saw it when it was out on digital, and it was good. But the hype had just gotten so completely out of hand that it was hard to be surprised by it, like everybody else seemed to be. So I had heard just so much about it ad nauseum that by the time I got around to seeing it, it was like, okay, this is really good, but I'm not sure if it deserves all the hype and attention it's getting. I still like that movie. I look back on it fondly. I think it's really, really a good piece of work. Stylistically, the story's awesome, and I enjoy Get Out. It's got there are some directions it takes with its message that I don't necessarily love, but overall, I really like that movie. I think it's great. I didn't see Us because I didn't really want to. Nothing about it intrigued me. It didn't really pull me in, and I feel like it wasn't the same type of hype around that movie, and people weren't talking about it as much, so I didn't feel like a need to participate in seeing that. And I heard mixed things about it as well, so I just didn't see it. I read about it, I know what it's about, but I just didn't see it. So now we get Nope, his third film. Again, written, produced, directed by Jordan Peele, and let's talk about what I think. Okay, so a lot of hype around this one. It's a movie, without spoiling anything, it's a movie about sci-fi stuff happening in the desert with a brother and sister who recently lost their father under strange circumstances, and kind of how they deal with that, along with some extraterrestrial happenings going on around them. So I'm really going to try hard not to spoil it. This movie is good, but not great. That's what I think of it. It's what I like about it is the visual style is fantastic. It's really well filmed. The performances here are all really, really, really good. Daniel Kaluuya is awesome in just everything. Keke Palmer, she's great here. Michael Wincott is in this, who I can't remember the last time I've even seen him in a movie. You would probably recognize him as the sheriff's cousin in Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. That's probably the film he's most well known for. But it's cool to see him back on the screen as well, and he's really good here. I love that like deep gravelly voice. It really stands out, and he does fine work here. And that's what I like. The script is good. The script is fine. The movie has some catastrophic problems with pacing. There's really two things I dislike about it. The pacing, this movie's probably like 10 to 15 minutes too long. It clocks in at 2 hours and 11 minutes, and this movie could easily be 2 hours flat and not miss a beat, and I think it would actually be a better movie because it takes a long time to get going, and it drags and meanders, and there's some side stories that don't really tie into the main film, and that's the second criticism I have. There's a couple subplots, and one in particular revolving a 90s like TV sitcom called Gordy's Home that I don't know how it fits into the movie. I've been thinking about it all night. I saw the film yesterday, and I still can't figure out how that ties into the film, like into the main plot of the film in any way, shape, or form. And what's interesting is that subplot that is way more intriguing to me than the main movie. Like, I want to see the story behind what happens leading up to the events that are shown on film regarding this sitcom. So like, it's this really interesting and dark and messed up story that's seems to be tied into the main storyline, but it doesn't seem like Peele ever really connects the dots there. So those are my two main critiques of the film: the pacing, the subplots that it kind of meanders off into. Otherwise, I liked it, and it's got a twist, but it's not like a huge, big, deal-breaking twist that threatens to either make the film succeed or fail. It's not that kind of twist. It's a little bit predictable as well. I picked up on it probably like a quarter of the way into the movie and was like, oh, I think I know where they're going with this. And and I like the movie, but I don't love it. That's really the simplest way I can put it. And I think maybe Peele, the challenge with doing all of this stuff yourself, the writing, the directing, the producing, and it's just your name on it, and ultimately you take ownership of it. I think maybe he needs somebody, a close like cohort or confidant, that can help rein him in a little bit as a director sometimes when needed. So I think he's extremely capable and clearly a filmmaker. He knows what he's doing when it comes to shooting the films. His movies all look great. But I think he needs a little bit of help along the way. So thank you so much for checking out the video. If you liked it, found it helpful, consider subscribing. You can also like and share the video. That tells the powers that be it's worth promoting. Following me on social media. I'm really only on Instagram at RealHometownZero, and I'll see you next Wednesday at 9 a.m.